All right. Hey,
Hello,
hey
guys.
what's going on?
And welcome back actually, this video is a first impressions, right, Dante?
Yeah, it is.
So this is a little different than a podcast or an extras. Actually, this could be considered an extras because it is a first impressions. But for now, we're just going to call this a first impressions video. It's something we're doing kind of on the side, right, dude?
Yeah.
In addition to the podcast and stuff. Because there's a lot of anime stuff coming out and some shows that we kind of wanted to talk about that we haven't fully gotten to do a whole podcast or whole review on, right, Dante?
Yeah,
and they don't have write-ups yet. So, Dante, tell everybody about the one that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, so basically, guys, this one is actually known as Black Summoner. You might have heard of it. It's actually one of the newest, I think one of the newest anime titles that is out this season currently.
Yeah.
So, as far as I know, I've actually managed to see like the first couple episodes, and I think at first it may seem like the main character may give you a bit of that Kirito Sword Online vibe.
Yeah, there is definitely a Sword Art
little
Online
bit of
vibe. Yeah. There's definitely, I get a vibe from it. But it's not the same story, and it also has some of the isekai tropes in there in the beginning. You know.
Yeah, in the beginning it does that.
Yeah, it does get better as it goes on.
Right, that's true. It's true, it does. I would probably say like after watching the first episode, yeah, I kind of, I guess the guy's main character's name is Calvin.
Calvin.
Sorry, I'm a little out of it, guys, but
yeah, we're a little sleepy, but
the main character's name is Calvin. And basically, he's able to get like all these skills and abilities, but he's able to do it at such a rapid pace.
Well, remember is that he starts out being from another world in the beginning of the show,
yeah, of course.
and gets a second shot at life because the goddess of the world that he was originally from messes up, and something happens, and he ends up getting a shot at another life. But the trade-off is that he has to forget about all of his previous memories, so he has no memory of his life previously,
who he was before.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so it's like one of those amnesia. The main MC has amnesia, doesn't even remember what his former life was, and then he gets reincarnated in this new world.
Yeah. So that's kind of how it starts. And now dude, I like this story kind of because they kind of hook you into this new world in the beginning, right? With the goddess, his skills. It feels very game-like. Do you know what I mean?
It does actually. It really does. So yeah, I mean, at first, it's got like the usual stats. It's got a bit of that Log Horizon-ish kind of stats that you would normally see in like your JRPGs.
Yeah.
But also I think it also has like those skill tree systems.
Correct. Yeah. Where you can like pick your skills and all that kind of stuff.
And then if you level up certain, you're able to upgrade said skills.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's kind of like that. It's basically kind of like that.
Yeah, and it has the elements of a game, but also some of the tropes from the isekai stuff too. It's pretty interesting, and it does get you the game stats and the way they do the characters and kind of the way the characters are interesting. Now, I will say this though, for first impressions, the main character, and I don't know if did you get this when you first started watching when I showed you the show? Because the main character is kind of a battle junkie. Did you notice that?
That I actually did.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting the Sword Art vibes. Now, the show does get better as it goes on, as you go further into the episode. Like, wouldn't you say, Dante, did you get hooked within the first, 2 to 3 episodes?
Well, usually when it comes to, newer anime, it kind of takes me about 3 to 4 episodes before I actually, really start to get into it.
Gotcha.
But once I get into it, then, it's...
It usually I can kind of get hooked within the first 3. If it doesn't hook me within the first 3 episodes, I usually won't watch more.
Right,
you know what I mean?
About that 3 to 4 episodes.
This one was interesting enough where I wanted to keep watching after the first 3 episodes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but dude, what's your thoughts though on the first? What would you say, dude? Would you say this is? What would you say? Would you say this is one that you would want to continue watching for the story? Would you say is it too close to some of the stuff that we were already familiar with, or would you say that it's different enough where you could actually continue watching this one? What's your?
Well, for me in my case, it's definitely one of those ones that does bring out your curiosity.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say that it's too much like Sword Art or like some of the other generic isekai that you would normally see. I
Yeah.
mean, the elements are definitely there. I would say if you're a first timer and you're nowhere near familiar with any sort of isekai whatsoever,
Yeah.
this would definitely be something that you might want to jump on. Because I think for this one, you won't have to worry about any like ichi-like tropes, like because some isekais will do that.
Yeah.
But it really depends on which one.
And this one doesn't have as much like goofiness. There's a little bit, but it's
Right.
not what you think, and it's not in the. It doesn't rely on that for the story. You know what I
Right.
mean? There's enough story. There's enough interesting stuff happening within the story to kind of keep you hooked with just the main plot without having to like get into the goofy stuff that some stories do.
Yeah, without
you know?
relying too much of a trope, without relying too much on like a crutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the main character is pretty decent. Now, yeah, he's got a little bit of SAO vibe, but he's different enough that I think you could get into him. Also, the one thing I do like is that they brought knights and they brought like demons and kind of other stuff into this show.
Yeah, and like knights, demons,
Yeah. Which
sorcerers.
Yeah, you'll see some of the characters as you go. Now, you got to the part with the person that the lady who trains. You know, he
Yeah.
trains one of the other characters to be his kind of backup. He kind of creates a party and trains someone. But you'll see other characters later on. So it does get interesting enough where you should, if you're into that kind of thing, you should kind of stay hooked later on.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you might want to check out if you're like a first time. If you're just jumping into the anime universe for like the very first
or maybe
time.
if you're just looking for something new to watch and you're like, hey, I'm tired of like watching like one of those real long shows like One Piece or like Naruto. You just want something like short to watch, right?
Yeah, it's very short. It's easy to get through. You could probably finish it in like less than a week because there's only like 12 episodes with it.
Well, I don't know how many total though, because there's only 8.
There's only 8.
There's only 8 out so far at the time of recording this video, but there could be more later on coming out later.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know how many in total they're planning to do, but yeah. But not bad. I mean, dude, what would you say?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's definitely something to check out. I don't really think that you'll have to worry too much about like your stale tropes that you would find in like other type of isekais where everything's just crazy and stuff like that.
I'm curious to see how it does with the fans and who actually tunes in and kind of who watches this.
Right.
No, this is only our first impressions because we haven't seen too much of it. I've seen actually up to 6 or 7, I think, but I don't want to.
He's seen further.
I don't want to spoil
he doesn't
anything.
wanna spoil it for him.
But yeah, this is only just our first impressions of what we think. We will probably do a full review probably later on, right, dude?
Yeah, eventually we will.
So once we figure out what the write-up's going to be and kind of work out what else we're going to do. Also, there is Don Machi, another season coming, so we probably might do something on that.
Yep.
So yeah, dude. How do you want to wrap this up, Dante?
I would definitely say if you guys are looking for some newer anime to watch, as opposed to the 3-year. I guess I don't really know how to put it, but I would guess say if you're just looking for something that's a little bit different, I mean, definitely give it a shot. Especially if you're a newbie.
It's not going to be like
it's not going to be your main tier anime.
Yeah, and it won't be like the top of the charts show. It'll be probably one of your like mid tier, like lesser known titles. Right, dude?
Yeah, lesser known, not really underrated, not really kind of.
Oh, it might be if nobody really tunes into it or nobody really watches it, then it could be underrated.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
I mean, there's a lot of shows.
But definitely, guys, give it a shot. Check it out. See what you guys think.
Yeah.
For this first impressions, we thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So anyway, this has been our first impressions with A. Goldman
and of course DJ
Lewis. So yeah, we hope you guys like this. And the only thing I have to say is I smell cookies. And hopefully we'll see you guys next time, right, dude?
Yeah, pretty much. And that too.
Yeah. Peace.
Later.